we are still making awesome content for you for Rocky Mountain Rep Rap 2024. There's so much more to show you. Let's just jump right into talking with some cool companies right after this. You all know we got to come check out E3D and see what's going on, because there's been some pretty interesting news here. The Revos are now affordable, like really affordable. How much lower are we talking about?
So we've made permanent price drops across the range.
Wow.
And restructured how you're buying it as well to make it just more accessible, buying the actual product you need rather than the base kit and then adding all of the accessories. So yeah, up to 40% in a lot of cases. So the high flow heater core is at a massive price drop. That's the biggest one. Gosh, I don't know what it would be in dollars, but sort of £42 down to 25.
Damn near 50% as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Someone will do the math and put it in the comments. Revo is amazing, we love it, but a very common complaint is it ain't cheap. And well, it's not supposed to be, okay? Quality stuff it takes a little bit of time here. But this means that more people can get into the Revo system.
Exactly.
I find it interesting because not a lot of businesses are just giving away 40% price drops, right?
Quite. So we've been developing it. What we launched Revo, we announced it in September 2021.
Okay.
And over the next 2 years, we've been ramping up production, securing supply chain, optimizing how we do things. We're now confident enough, we're at the point we can pass on those cost savings, those price savings to customers. The idea behind it was always that the brass nozzles would be much more affordable.
Right.
So we've dropped that price to £18, whatever dollar sum that is. And we've dropped the high flow price as well by quite a considerable amount.
Yeah.
And that's all just because of the cost savings we've been able to make in production.
That's what we call economies of scale. When you're able to take something that's real small and make it many times, you can reduce your overall cost of production. Some companies just opt to pocket the difference because America. Some decide to pass savings along to the customers and be able to make the products more affordable and in turn more accessible. This gets Revo into more machines, and that's kind of the goal at the end of the day, isn't it?
It's totally the goal, yeah. We want to enable people to be able to change nozzles faster and just have a better experience with their 3D printer, get more out of it. Revo is compatible with many Creality, Prusa, Voron machines. We've done it at what we hope is now a really affordable price.
I love it. We've always really enjoyed the Revo ecosystem. Our Voron has a Voron-specific Revo on it, and that is awesome. And I love that you guys are constantly going the next step. Like, I wonder when they're gonna have Revo High Temp 2 weeks later. Hey, we're announcing Revo High Temp. So if you do want to see us do a high temp printer, definitely not already working on it, but let us know in the comments down below, and maybe we'll fast track it to become a video a little bit sooner than later. High temp is awesome. A lot of you love printing with nylons and polycarbonates, but what about PEEK, PEC, Ultemp, materials that your average printer just can't do?
Can I challenge you to do that with a Revo High Temp?
You can?
All right, challenge is on.
Challenge accepted. I'm here for it because I want to do high temp so bad in a way that maybe you at home could adapt high temp to your printers and be able to go that next level. Now that 3D printing has gotten so much easier with machines like Bamboo that just kind of click, print, and go. Now a lot of you are looking at what the next step is. And those of you that were trying to make a business out of PLA and PETG, you're realizing it's a little bit harder now because the barrier to entry has dropped.
Exactly.
Well, the barrier to entry is still pretty damn high when it comes to the high temp stuff. Now, of course, E3D has a solution, but there's way more to it than just slap a high temp heat block, nozzles, and send it. And if you want to know more, let us know in the comments. That's going to be a fun one. But you guys have some interesting stuff for Revo Roto coming out. So stay tuned because that's all coming soon to Yem. Can we show them something? Can we do it?
Yeah, well, I think Tony should talk you through the other something.
Yeah, the other thing.
But yeah,
The other thing
shameless.
over at Duet, who's definitely not right over there.
But yeah, this is the Clipper toolboard. It was designed by Robert Lawrence, who a lot of people already know. And this is coming out to market in about 4 weeks' time. So
Roughly when
probably
this
in
video
about a
comes
week's
out.
time, yeah, when this actually comes out. And this has been highly requested.
Yeah, I want to put a Revo Roto on our Voron, but I don't know how the heck to put all the other Clipper stuff on it. And this is the solution. There you go.
This is the solution.
And it's all air cooled.
Well,
with
then
a
we have
nice
something
heatsink.
else coming out for Voron owners as well, who might want a Roto. Yeah, might be worth having a catch up with Michael Sam here at the show as well.
Might be worth it. Maybe we'll do that on camera. We probably won't though. I really wish we were recording when I first got a look at Roto, because yeah, that would have been the best marketing photo you guys would ever have for that, because I was floored at how cool this thing is.
It
You guys
is a
don't.
beautiful piece of kit.
We have one of these. I want to put it on my Voron, but y'all want to see it on something else? Let me know. We're going to do some really crazy stuff with this specific hot end. Roto, I think, has a lot more potential than people see in it, and I really want to push its limits.
We'd love to see that too.
Yeah, because I think Roto theoretically can go into high temp environments. I'm only a little bit worried about the plastic, but that's not all. E3D is doing something that I didn't expect, but I like it. Bamboo owners, you all know we did a video on the high flow obsidian, but what we didn't say, because I didn't know this was an option, is that you have to make it yourself. You got to put it all together and all that. Well, not anymore. E3D is actually going to be selling fully assembled bamboo high flow obsidian hot ends, so that it's literally just 2 screws to pull out the old hot end, drop it out, take out your cables, of course, because otherwise you're going to have a bad time, and then just plug the new one in. No thermal grease, no messing with that spring clip thing, no BS. It just fits. That's actually really convenient if you don't want to deal with the service and just want to get back to printing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to be able to offer both options. It's obviously slightly more expensive to have the fully assembled
Yeah, what's the
version.
price difference on them?
It's £25 price difference, so
it's not bad.
I don't know what that is, maybe $30.
Yeah, about 30 bucks.
So £60 and £85 for metal only and fully assembled. So we've tried to make it as affordable as possible whilst working with Bamboo to make sure that it's in line with their customer requirements too.
Yep.
It's completely drop-in. The metal only one
really
is a
is.
quick change. It's 10 minutes to change. This is, a minute.
I definitely did mine in situ and didn't unplug anything. That's not the way you should do it, but it's the way that I did. Because you know what?
Making is all about, isn't
But
it?
it works. You can do it.
You can
and
do it.
There's a lot of value in that. And honestly, given the option for me, I'm spending the extra 25, 30 bucks because then I know it was done right.
And for 60% extra flow rate, it's kind of worth it.
They're underrating it. It's way more than 60%. It's way more.
We're British. We like to be very conservative.
That's fair. I would much rather say, yeah, no, I went from 15 to 30 cubic millimeters a second in PLA and I still had room to go, than say, oh yeah, you told me it was 100%, but I only got 90. No, those things flow like crazy. We put over 20 kilos now of carbon fiber PETG through it without a single problem. That was not somehow my fault. That's what we like about it. Again, high quality stuff. It's worth it. And if you have a Bamboo and you are using it for any form of production, I know they're not the cheapest, but they're well worth it because you're going to save so much time. We saved over an hour on an 8-hour print.
Yeah.
That's meaningful amounts of time.
It's a massive deal.
Yeah.
In mass production, for sure.
It is. And we saw no degradation in print quality whatsoever, that's saying something. That's saying a lot of things.
And that echoes all of the feedback we're getting. It's really nice to see.
I'm not going to say that we saw a bucket full of those at E3D, because I'm not even sure if we can show you guys, but we definitely did. And it was awesome. Guys, seriously, check out E3D down below. Click those links and check out the awesome products. Everything from your high flow obsidians to the definitely not nipple nozzles, and even the Diamondback Revos as well. No matter what you're really working on, E3D has a nozzle for you inside of the Revo system. We love them here. I think you all will too. That's all we got here at E3D, but I'm told the Duet guys might have something cool to show us, so let's go talk with them. literally right next to E3D, we've got Duet. You guys know Duet. You love Duet. Let me know if you're running Duet stuff down below. You got some cool Roto stuff to show us, huh?
I do, Grant. Nice to see you.
Likewise.
Cool. So I don't know whether you've seen this before. I guess you have. You've just been talking to Claire about it.
I've seen Roto Revo before.
But on this side, we've got relatively new Revo Roto toolboard. So what we did is we worked with E3D to design a toolboard specific for this extruder.
Okay.
It's designed to fit on it and also connect very easily to everything. So, for example, the motor connectors, just going really quickly, the Revo hot end connectors and temperature connectors going really, really quickly.
No crimping, right?
No crimping.
Me and crimping, we're not the best of friends at the moment. We got a bit of a complicated relationship, you might say.
And I haven't got it mounted, but the same thing, the 3-wire censored fan just connects straight in. We added another temperature sensor, so the censored cold side temperature sensor that the Revo provides, you can pick it all up.
Nice.
And you're able to very easily configure that and then also write macros within RepRap firmware to handle it. Like, what do you want the printer to do if the cold side temperature is like starting to creep up? Do you want to pause? Do you not want to pause, but you want to flag up something else to the user? Do you want to flag something up if you get over 40? And if you're starting at a 50, now we want to pause? So the configurability, so the sensing plus the configurability allowed you to do really, really powerful things.
I love that, right? Because sometimes we forget to leave the chambers open on the printers that have chambers that are printing PLA, and you'll come back to a heat creep issue, and that sucks. It's not fun.
And we have built into firmware this concept of different configurations per filament. So you say in your start G-code for your sliced file, you say, hey, tell RepRap firmware that this is a PLA print. And then it will pick up all the config and do exactly that. So you can have different triggers for the sensors based on what you're saying the print filament is. So similarly, you might want to have the opposite. You might want to be like, hey, my cold side's at 40, and when the chamber doors are closed and the bed's going, my cold side should be more than that, because that means that the chamber's not warm enough. And so you could have the opposite sort of trigger as well.
I like that. And that's not the only piece of tech that I see on that board that I don't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
What do we got?
So talking about sensing.
Yeah.
And that's really what we want to do. We want to give the users and machine builders like the ability to really closely sense what's happening with their system.
Right.
So what I've got mounted here and also on that machine over there is a new magnetic filament monitor, but it's designed to fit directly into Revo.
Okay.
So the existing censored Revo that you can get from E3D has a filament runout sensor, which is super useful.
Regular,
right?
just switch. Yeah,
right.
simple.
What this does is it's got a rotating magnet that is effectively like an extruder in reverse.
So it's a Hall effect sensor, basically.
Yeah,
right?
it's like an extruder in reverse. So we're effectively sensing the movement of the filament and communicating that back over this sort of small FFC to the same processor that's running the stepper driver. So we can very, very, very quickly detect a difference between the movement that we want to have and the movement that is having it.
So that's jam detection, that's partial or full clog nozzle detection, that's heat creep detection with the cold side thermistor. Yeah, there's a lot there.
Or like a little tangle in your filament roll.
Right.
Yeah, or filament runout, of course. You can detect not moving at all. Something's definitely gone wrong.
That's awesome.
But there's a lot of different things that you can detect. And because we've got it running on the processor, we're looking at, like, in future versions of firmware, like, what else can we do? Can we do some print profiling and look at what's happening with the, and maybe we can say, hey, you thought you fitted that high flow nozzle, but did you?
You didn't. Yeah. We're not detecting the flow that you're expecting. This is not the flow you are looking for.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So this is really becoming more closed loop than anything.
Yeah, I very much hesitate to use closed loop extrusion as a term.
It's close though. Because
when we talk about closed loop motors, often what we're saying is like, there's a bit of mass more or something's happening, so we're going to push a little bit harder to follow the path we want to do. With extrusion, rarely, if it's not flowing as it should be, really the correct answer is just push harder. So, but maybe use
You're not wrong.
Maybe use it for characterization or something like that. But but absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the other sensor that we've got on this is our scanning Z probe.
Okay. Eddy current detector.
Yes. So it uses the same chip as some of the other eddy current detectors on the market. But we've just mounted it into the same toolboard.
Nice.
So you don't need another bit of circuitry and another processor and all of that. You kind of all in the same It's all in the same package, yeah.
We like to see that because it is nice to not have a bunch of extra wires, a bunch of extra BS
Yeah.
that you're gonna get screwed up on. You're gonna end up crossing the streams, and then all of a sudden people are calling you the Wish.com 3D printy. That's an inside joke because I needed to ban his booth for a little bit, but I do really like this because RepRap firmware is not dead. I like it. It's good. We're going to be showing off a lot more Duet products on the channel as we look to take our ridiculously oversized D-Bot and considerably underbuilt D-Bot, that is 100% my fault, and make it way more better. That's a technical term, really.
Way more better, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to 16 millimeter fully supported Z smooth rods and a 1605 ball screw.
Okay,
So
interesting.
way more better is the technical term for this.
Cool. Look forward to it.
Well, Tony, this has been awesome. Thank you for showing this out. We're gonna have links to Duet in the description down below. So if you guys want to get some Duet products, maybe take a look at some of the other cool stuff they've got. You know where to find it. Tony, seriously, thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you for
Ron.
getting all the way here and showing
Yeah.
this stuff off. And loving the 5-axis printer too.
Lovely to see you.
Gotta love it.
Cheers.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's so much awesome here at Duet and a lot more awesome open source coming at you here at Rocky Mountain 2024. We've got a lot more booths to take a look at, so let's get to it. I was walking around Rocky Mountain RepRap 2024 and I saw something that glimmered and it caught my eye and I said, is that who I think it is? And it was. Got Hendrik here, the master of electroplating 3D prints, who is not gonna allow me to call him a master, but too bad I'm doing it anyways. Hendrik, how you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Talk to everyone about what you're doing and why it is so freaking cool.
I can talk to you about what I'm doing. I don't know why it is cool, but
I'll tell them why it's cool, don't worry.
okay. I'm electroplating 3D prints.
Yeah.
And electroplating can be done on any non-conductive material like plastic is,
Yeah.
right? But I figured out how to prepare the 3D prints and then apply a conductive paint like this conductive copper paint.
Okay.
And then put it in a bath like this. I mean, it's Gatorade right now.
It's definitely not. Oh, it's actually Gatorade
It's actually
for the show.
it's a Gatorade for the show.
Okay. I'm like, that should be like copper sulfate, I think.
Yeah, copper sulfate, and I use acidic sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid.
And that's why you're using Gatorade for the show. Got it.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
not that safe for kids running around and dipping the finger in there, but
I mean, they learned their lesson after the first couple of times.
maybe. Yeah, I put it in the sulfuric acid and I let it rotate and do magic and all the electricity work.
Electrons.
Do
Electron.
stuff.
Yeah, it's actually just copper. Yeah, copper getting dissolved from the copper anode from
Yep.
these sheets here, and these copper ions they wander to the cathode
Yep.
in the middle like this, and over time, about 4 hours, it deposits on the conductive paint like this.
Oh, that is so freaking cool.
Yeah, and it gets pretty rigid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel it here. This is, I think you're familiar with this. This
Yeah.
is from AGBiz. It's really cool.
He's got
And
these nice business cards.
Yeah.
I love these. These are awesome.
over-engineered business cards. It's flimsy, and the same print electroplated like this. It gets.
I can touch this?
Yeah, of course. It gets.
Oh.
It gets really rigid.
That's a fair bit of extra mass.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Wow. I wouldn't expect it to get that much more rigid from just a thin coating of metal.
It's not that thin. It's 0.2 millimeters.
Oh,
thick.
wow, that's really thin.
Yeah.
I'm expecting like maybe 5 or 10 microns.
No. It's really thick electroplating.
Wow, so
Yeah.
how long are they staying in the bath for?
4 hours. For just
Okay,
4 hours,
yeah, that's a very long time in electroplating bath.
Yeah.
Dude, that is, and it looks, I mean, first off, they both look really cool, but gold. Come on.
But you noticed the electroplating emphasizes all the all the irregularities in
Yeah,
the print,
it's
right?
filling every crack and crevice and void and all of
Yeah, and that's why I always prepare the prints, and I have to smooth them and sand them. I sand the hell out of it.
that. As a lot of you
this
know that 3D prints have layers, and layers are
ghosting, and I have to get rid of all that stuff and fill the cracks and
So does it take longer in sanding or take longer in electroplating? It's 4
sanding.
hours.
Sanding,
So you have more than
Easily.
4 hours in sanding to get this done.
even more.
Oh man.
Even more. Yeah, and buffing.
Can we see the gun show? You must have ripped biceps, man.
No, I don't.
Your work is amazing.
Thank you.
I've seen it all over, and we follow each other on Twitter, and you're always posting stuff over there. We'll link to all the social media in the description, because you gotta follow us. It's just so freaking cool. Seriously, I don't have a good way of describing how just. You know what it should look like, right? You know that it's a 3D print, but to the untrained eye who doesn't know it's a 3D print, it's made of metal.
It is.
It's made of metal.
It is actually metal. You can put that on. This is what is done to this. I think this is PLA, PLA. It's very light, and this is very rigid, and you can see
Yeah, you can see some of the copper in there still.
Yeah, it's still copper in there. It's a bit sloppy.
Yeah.
I didn't polish the inside, but I polished the outside. You can put that on.
It's gonna fit
if
my
it,
big
if
old.
it fits your
No,
head.
it doesn't even.
Does
no,
not.
Does
Oh,
not
no.
even.
Oh, no.
Wow. Oh wait, hold on. That's at least 50% heavier. I know that the weight's not going to transmit through camera. I'm sorry, but like, guys, come on. Old and busted, new hotness.
Old and busted, new hotness.
It's just beautiful. And the finish is, I can see myself in it. It's literally a mirror.
It's palladium.
Oh,
It is palladium.
okay. You went real fancy.
Yeah, this is fancy, but it's a nice material, and you can touch it. I mean, this is nickel plated. It's not polished on resin, but it's a contact allergen, nickel. So you don't want to get in contact with your skin.
Yep.
So this is not. I mean, you wear that on your head. Not that long, not that long. It's from the show, but you don't want to touch it, have it on your skin.
Right.
This is one of my earlier props, and it still has some, it's not that nice because it's okay. This is resin too.
Nice.
I polished it, and this is a browning agent. This is
So that's still electroplated.
yeah, it's electroplated, but it's a browning agent, a blackening agent.
Yeah.
This is gold, yeah.
So how do you deal with multiple metals on a part? Is it just then assembled in post, or are you having to mask stuff so that
I can mask stuff, and I do mask stuff, and sometimes the mask is not as good, like here, and it's coming off. Sometimes it's coming off. The metal is separating.
it can flake off?
Yeah, it can flake off because I have problems with thermal expansion.
Right.
As you know, the copper. I mean, this is a shroud for the Voron, right? And copper, when it's heated, it's expanding.
Right.
Right. And so I don't think this is actually a good idea. I'm not sure.
I mean, it looks really freaking cool.
Yeah, it looks cool, but
Talk about a blinged out Voron. I mean, Zach Friedman was talking about doing like just a ridiculous Voron build. I think Zach has to pick up this idea
and make it
work with you and be able to electroplate an entire set of Voron parts in 24 karat gold.
That would be awesome.
It would be really freaking awesome. So, Zach, we've talked about this. I'm calling you out. I want to see that Voron gold. And since it's probably a little too expensive to print it out of solid gold, only a little bit too expensive,
Probably.
you can do it this way. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to feature creep your project, but I totally am trying to feature creep your project. But you've done so much more as well. And you're educating in the process, right? You're teaching people.
Yeah, that's my purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hendrik's not the first person to electroplate 3D prints. He's one of the best that I've ever seen, period. But you are the only one that I know of that is educating others how to do it. And that is what I really appreciate.
Thank you.
Because you found something you're like, all right, fine, let's have some fun. And then it went way off the rails, and now you're the electroplating guy.
Kind of. That's the story, right? I want other people to do the same. That's why I do all the tutorials, right? And it's just educational purpose. Right.
So if we were to do something, what is a good thing to start out with? We want to electroplate.
Rings, absolutely rings. Easily, the lot of the rings.
Rings.
Yeah, rings.
Oh boy.
It is so easy. It is small. It is small. It can be sanded very quickly, easy. And then you have you just need a little setup for that, and you can electroplate this, or you can electroform it to copper.
Yeah.
And then put nickel on it as a diffusion barrier for gold. And this is, I mean, you can touch that. It's so light.
Yeah.
And it's a real deal. I think you cannot distinguish that from the original thing just by looking at it.
No chance. You'd really, I mean, if you held it, you would know it's not solid gold.
Yeah, I have a tutorial how to make these rings, but my card has been nicked because I think somebody thought it's a business card. Right.
Yeah.
But you have to look it up. It's very easy. It's fun, and people get good results from that first thing.
We'll link to it in the description. So if you would like to try something like this and make your significant other very, very nervous to learn how to do electroplating, you can do so.
Absolutely. I want to talk about clearance.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you cannot assemble these cards.
No.
Because
you added a lot of thickness to it.
Yeah, you have to take that into consideration when building a Voron and when to assemble parts. I add negative expansion radius of about minus 0.2 millimeters to my parts to get them connected after planted, because I deposit so much material on that. Right.
So the trick is basically to make the holes 0.2 to 0.4 larger. Do testing, please, because your method might be a little bit different. Each material is going to deposit in a different rate than others, and of course, depending on how much voltage, amperage, and all of that you use for your electroplating process, that is all going to depend on how fast material is added or subtracted from your part. We might try a ring, but we do have, I have my own Wexter Mini, dude. And I see that you did the Silver Surfer, which is the best one to electroplate. I want to be clear, that is the Wexter Mini Dude to electroplate.
Makes sense, right?
I kind of want to electroplate my own Mini Dude, but I want to do it out of something like real kind of weird. You know, like a weird metal, like bismuth or something. I don't know if you can electroplate with bismuth. Yeah. It just looks cool. Hendrik, you do some of the most amazing things, and seriously, caught me from the other side of the room because it was just shining at me. It's so cool. Thank you for bringing this out to the Rocky Mountain Rep Fest. I am excited to try some of this out myself at some point. I'm still a little nervous, not gonna lie. A little nervous about this stuff, but I'm so excited to try it out.
Don't be afraid. Always use your PPE.
Yes.
PPE is very important.
That's right.
Yeah, I emphasize it in every video and take my time. Views are dropping out, but it's very important because you don't want to lose your eyesight, especially when you deal with acidic sulfuric acid.
We're big on PPE on the channel, and quite frankly, always wear lab coats. All of a sudden, people are like, oh, he must be a doctor.
Yeah, it's cool.
They just assume you're like incredibly intelligent, regardless if you are or aren't. So, you know, there's your social engineering tip of the day. Have a little bit of fun. Let me know what you guys want to see electroplated in those comments down below, because we want to try it. I'm not entirely certain I'm going to succeed, but I really want to try this. I think it would be a really fun experiment and a great learning experience for everybody involved. And especially those who are listed right next to me at the $5 tier and higher. Thank you for what you guys do in making these videos possible. Again, if you do want to support what we do, links are down below, as they always have been and always will be. Of course, don't forget to leave a like and get subscribed. And a big thank you to Rocky Mountain Rep Fest for bringing us out here so we can show off super cool, shiny stuff with Hendrik and others. That's all I have for you guys today. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your levels. Click the videos below us. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one. This gets Roto. Damn it.